Salut tout le monde, on se retrouve aujourd'hui pour une nouvelle vidéo, la 37e. Donc on continue ce qu'on avait commencé la fois dernière. Donc là avec ce qu'on avait commencé avec Shen et la reconstruction de la chambre de Jade. Donc là on va parler à souffler le nuage. Un des adeptes me semble.
One trusts you have met Shen He. So, are you getting along quite
So far, so good. Yeah.
naturally? Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor.
Cool. So, what's her adept? Calling her Shenhua feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So,
Her adeptus name.
don't all adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct. How
Oh, right. Paimon neither.
Ouais, c'est vrai qu'elle est puissante pour
do
une
you
humaine.
mean to say that she presents different?
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are...
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's room. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which...
That sounds so...
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal that she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong will. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained...
In other words, if you hadn't passed by them...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shen He may have still emerged.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had indeed. It is one to whom she refers. Shen He has an extraordinary
Donc ouais, en fait
constitution,
c'est une humaine qui a
making her,
été
however,
éduquée par un
her
adepte, donc elle est très
homicidal
forte quoi.
urges did not subside with age. Rather, Moon Carver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her...
Non, elle s'en va.
It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that...
Oh, now Paimon gets it.
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature... Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract if she handles it admirably. One is willing to be a witness to her... Let us conclude our conversation here for today.
Et dire qu'à la base avec nous était pas si sympa que ça sous le nuage. Hein. Je me rappelle d'une personne un peu hautaine avec nous. Donc c'est bien que ça se place comme ça.
Shenhua isn't an adeptus after all. She just grew up around the adeptus.
Bon on va... Non c'est pas là. Hop, tic tac, tic tac, tic tac, tic tac. Comme ça on peut passer à la suite. Si, hop.
Hey, so, Shenhua...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you...
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught on top of this. You have been acting very strangely around me this morning. After all, Master is...
Sorry, Shen...
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner. Because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant, and for this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of... Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, You're our friend, whether you're in a...
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in...
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items. But before we do that, let's go to the building. After all, sunset vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors...
Non, faut pas abandonner, faut continuer. On continue d'avancer dans cette quête, comme ça plus vite fait, plus vite on pourra passer à autre chose dans l'histoire.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Bon, je pense que je commence à être à un AR quand même assez avancé. Hein. Niveau 30, c'est pas mal. Hein. Il me semble que d'après ce que je vois sur les forums, les pages de Facebook, etc., je pense que c'est niveau 60 la Air Max. Donc on est à la moitié du chemin. On verra ce qui se passera par la suite, si on aura du meilleur stuff ou si on devra changer complètement l'équipe. N'hésitez pas à dire en commentaire c'est quoi votre team.
That's because it's not finished. Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into... Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tether.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you... Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right? Pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of...
Beto? Are you here to join...
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a...
Huh. So even though it's rare...
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin. Probably the...
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before.
Shenhe.
Good to meet ya. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so...
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for... To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I Wow! So, excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but...
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help.
In that case, Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top. Sounds great, but how does it...
I think the plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items are... How'd I do?
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. Alright, I'll go first. From what I've heard...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Iron...
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings... I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Bon, allez, à plus tard. Moi, je vais aller chercher un petit peu là.
Okay, let's go. By the way, what question are you... I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady... Ooh, what's the opera called? The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular... It's called The Divine...
On ira voir ton opéra plus tard. Là. Nous, on veut continuer notre mission. Ah, j'ai peut-être fait une bêtise là, faut que je remonte. Non, c'est pas la bonne touche, non.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the...
Excuse me, Master John. You are what?
Of course I have.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some...
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so... sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do... The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang...
No, we were gonna ask you a kind...
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around... Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice...
Bah on va se rendre au mont Tianheng et puis on verra ce que ça donne.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine depth... I hear the view there is quite spectacular. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration.
Bon déjà on va se taper à ça. On va se taper à ça pour guérir nos persos. On sait jamais si on doit se battre. Au moins ça sera chose faite. Voilà, chose faite. Et on peut se TP tranquillement au prochain point pour continuer la mission. Voilà.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me.
Ah, ça ressemble pas au paradis quand il y a de l'orage.
The legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here.
The divine damsel of devastation interrupt coming up, right? And the story... What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl.
Cool. A hero story?
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be in that village, there was a loving couple who the wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, if you want to live...
What a nasty piece of work!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to... Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legend.
Ah mais ça ressemble fortement à l'histoire de Shenhe.
Destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp.
I really like this story, but I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as... I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
Ouais, c'est son histoire, c'est sûr.
I've never... Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intent...
I think it's a...
Well, it sure inspired Paimon!
Allez. Moi je pense qu'ils font... Wow. Moi je pense qu'il faut monter. Ok, ça c'en est une. C'est chouette ça. Que ça en soit une. Là je suis en train de trop m'éloigner. Bon voilà, la deuxième elle est juste ici. C'était plutôt facile.
Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Hyunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse me. Huh. He didn't seem to...
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you...
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village?
Oui.
Shenhe, Hyunjin.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman, if that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shin. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can... This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here.
Thank you, kind sir. Well, don't worry. Minjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe.
Okay, then let's see what we...
Bon, on vous laisse parler, hein. Il y avait jadis une famille qu'on a issue d'un clan d'exorcistes qui fut frappée par une tragédie. En seulement une dizaine de jours, la mère fut emportée par la maladie et la jeune fille disparue sans laisser de traces. Donc, à mon avis, ça c'est Shenhe. Peu de temps après cela, le père de famille se pendit à un... Oh ouais, c'est chaud. Les enquêtes permirent de découvrir des traces indiquant l'apparition de vraies divinités maléfiques dans le village. Les villageois vivaient dans l'angoisse, n'étant pas certains de savoir si les restes de divinités étaient toujours présents dans le village. Sans autre choix que de déménager, ils s'en allèrent. Ok.
Does this mean that the true story of the divine the time frame certainly matches?
En fait, ton père, il a pas trop créé une histoire, il a juste repris une histoire, ton petit père. Là. Hop, un coffre, c'est toujours ça de prix, parfait. Alors, c'est... Ouf. Alors, le docteur a dit que ta maladie était grave, ne t'en fais pas, je te sauverai même si je dois me défaire de toutes mes possessions familiales. Mon cœur saigne quand je te vois t'affaiblir de plus en plus sans que les remèdes n'arrangent quoi que ce soit. Comme j'irai pouvoir s'offrir à ta place, tu dis que tu as vécu ta vie sans regret, que ton seul souhait et que je m'occupe bien de Shen et mais tu n'as aucun pourquoi tu pleures. Et suis les instructions qui y figurent. Ouais, le dieu est apparu, je lui ai dit que je voulais échanger ma vie contre la tienne, il est resté silencieux à montrer notre fille du doigt. Le dieu a dit qu'elle était un enfant maudite et que si elle restait en vie, elle ferait du mal à ses proches. Selon lui, elle pourrait même entraîner ma mort. Alors j'ai pensé que la meilleure chose à faire, je l'ai laissé dans la grotte que m'a indiqué le dieu. Après 3 jours, je n'ai toujours pas eu de nouvelles. Attendre de la sorte me rendait impatient et agité. Et je suis indigne de Shen et indigne de toi. J'ai été si stupide, laissez-moi vous rejoindre. Ouais, donc c'est...
So, now that I think about it, she does behave. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling. According to this text, the divine and she didn't volunteer. She was... Oh. The truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now, oh. It looks like my father may need to make a...
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Non, je vais tomber. Bon, je pense que là c'est le document final. Hein. La magie scellée dans le sub ne se dissipe pas facilement. Certains pensent que ce minerai est un lien entre les vivants et les morts. Mais trouver du subrosium n'est pas chose aisée, il faut être au bon endroit au bon moment. La légende veut que si l'on se tient au milieu du lac au sud des monts au crépuscule, on puisse trouver du saumon en regardant dans la direction du coucher du soleil. Ok.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south. Let's go back and tell Shen.
when I was back visiting. I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped. I bring flowers back here every year.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only... There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his...
Do you still...
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with... So if you ask me how I feel about the past...
It must have been so tough for you.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. I'll tell you more about the old times.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we...
Let's go then.
Je sais pas pourquoi, mais je la sens pas
Miss
trop.
Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk just now. In the village, we found your father's diary.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character...
It's okay. I like your... My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the... So, I hope that one day I might be brave, but I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue.
Don't worry. I believe, in fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just...
Shenhe! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us too!
Hop. Est-ce qu'il y a moyen de se déplacer rapidement? Oui. On va sauter. Ah bah c'est juste là en plus. On va pas user trop d'énergie. Vers 17h30, hein, c'est ça. Ouais, je suis pas du tout au bon endroit. Allez hop. Un peu avant le coucher du soleil. Super. Hop. On récupère le succès tout de suite. Alors. Ça doit être ça. Oh, c'est pas ça doit être, hein, c'est bon. Hop, on va se taper rapidement là-bas. Alors, ensuite... Ouais, c'est le même trajet, on va aller revoir Monsieur Sang. Hop et up.
This is some top quality ore you found. Guess now it's my time to...
Ouais, c'est à toi de jouer.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen...
Leave the wonder course to me. I'll work on it, don't worry.
Much obliged, Master John.
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got...
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way,
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't. Now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find.
thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use...
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how...
Bon, ça c'est parfait.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects...
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead.
Bon, en fait, on est en train de fumer les autres. C'est ça le délire. On fume tout le monde et puis on respecte personne, c'est ça? Oh, j'ai glissé, chef. Voilà.
Ningguang's little secretary. We found all the materials.
Oh, all three of you found them together. Okay, the Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems... I hereby announce that the winners of this material...
What? It's over already? I haven't even felt... so close, but so far.
I'd like
Ouais,
to
faut
invite
pas
our three
réagir.
winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber.
Huh? Where's Beto? She was right here.
Captain Beto has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please...
All right then. Guess we'll head on. This has been a long time coming.
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into
Bon bah voilà, encore une mission de terminée. La chambre de Jade est reconstruite.
The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work.
Yeah.
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement.
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if
Oh,
I
c'est
proposed
stylé.
that we stage your first performance right here? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when...
You're next. What is your question?
Alors ouais, je sais pas
I
là.
should clarify. I do not know your brother's whereabouts. Please,
Ok.
don't...
Wow. You're a mind reader, Ningguang.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer.
Wow. Paimon hadn't even asked.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, so I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here.
Oh, great! So next, no more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, just don't waste it.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in and leave?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here,
So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging. Oh, a sense? Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here.
C'est vrai que moi maintenant, j'ai Ningguang. Bon, Ningguang elle est bien en tant que personnage, mais Shen-Hei, quand je l'ai testé la vidéo dernière, ses capacités, elle a l'air vraiment badass. Hein. Moi j'aime vraiment bien.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou. It's your turn. Do you have a...
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millelith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back.
Beidou? Ningguang?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation.
Oh non, faut pas nous cacher les trucs. Hein.
When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would... My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of... I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prophet. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
Voilà. Et c'est ça qu'il fallait pas qu'on voit. On va se rattraper les...
Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, by
Who is that?
Osial's wife, final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming.
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
Ah, c'est trop badass. Vraiment pour un jeu gratuit, les cinématiques, l'histoire, etc. Elle est vraiment badass. Bon, cette vidéo là va être un peu longue je pense, mais je le trouve vraiment badass ce jeu. Pour un jeu gratuit, c'est... Je me répète, hein, mais les cinématiques sont plutôt correctes, les bugs, il n'y en a pas tellement. L'histoire, elle est... à chaque fois on est un peu surpris, un peu comme dans les vrais animés finalement. Je trouve ça vraiment superbe. Le perso, il se prend pour le roi du monde, quoi.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Et voilà, l'histoire s'écrit. Ah, elle est vraiment badass ce perso. Je veux ce perso. J'aime bien aussi ce côté-là où dans le jeu vidéo, là par exemple, s'il y a un combat et tu joues pas forcément. Je trouve ça tellement bien de regarder une cinématique aussi bien réalisée. Là, je vais sûrement prendre le contrôle de chaîne et d'ailleurs. Et devoir me castagne avec le vortex. Ah, voilà.
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk.
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared. She is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We'll help too.
Ok. Puis voilà, regardez, je fais participer Ningguang en même temps. Il est où? Ah, il est là. Ça, mon grand? Non, 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 tu mourras pas comme ça. Bien tenté. Moi. Et ça? Ah non, là c'est... Ils sont pas contents là. Je pense qu'à certains endroits je vais faire des cuts, sinon la vidéo va vraiment être trop longue. On va peut-être prendre elle comme ça si je peux. Oh, oh non. Oh, il me l'a zigouillé. Je pense qu'on va rester sur chaîne et. Bon, c'est bien parti. J'ai pris énormément de dégâts avec Amber et Ningguang. Allez, viens mon grand. Voilà. C'est bon. C'est parfait. Je pense qu'on va voir la dernière cinématique.
I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll like...
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the...
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have...
Thank you.
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millelith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I wasn't trying to be a hero, though.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always if it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit you have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfying.
While the position of Tianjuan remains mine.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor...
Yes. I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care. In fact, one has many
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you.
Please, have a good rest. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another...
Bon bah voilà, sur ce on va se laisser sur cette dernière épreuve grâce à Shenhe, donc j'aimerais vraiment le débloquer le perso. Donc on fera sûrement un pack opening pour essayer de débloquer ce perso. Moi je vous dis comme d'habitude à la semaine prochaine, ciao!